Am I the asshole for not paying for anything anymore for my stepdaughter? My stepdaughter, 14, who doesn't like me because she thinks her real dad is better, but he doesn't do anything to help. All he does is do crack and use his girlfriends for money. Believes her dad buys all the things she gets. Her birthday presents, toys, clothes, and gadgets are from me or her mom, but she honestly believes he gets them for her. She isn't just rude to me, she's rude to everyone. Like her mom or neighbor, or just people that bump into her. My wife has tried counseling and therapy, but it's only effective for a couple of days before she snaps. I haven't grounded her or anything. I leave the punishing to her mom, but she still can't behave. Recently her birthday came up and I bought her a phone she had been wanting, and she called her dad and thanked him while still being rude to me. I honestly am at my limit. I can't take this disrespect anymore. I know she's just a child, but it still gets to me. I told my wife I won't be paying for anything she needs or wants anymore. I'm not going to tolerate disrespect while still being financially responsible for her. My wife is saying I'm insensitive and an asshole, but I completely disagree. AITA. Edit 1. I will talk to her and stop paying for items unless she needs them. I will also take her to therapy again and try to be more patient. I will update if anything happens. Not the asshole. Why does she think her father is the one buying things? Is her mom lying, or do you tell her it's from you and she is in denial? Edit for verdict. Not the asshole. Make sure she has clothes, food and housing. The clothes don't have to be expensive. Extras, well, her father can buy those, or her mother. Maybe she will see that her father isn't the person she thinks he is. Not the asshole, but it's not going to help anything. Your first problem is with your wife, not your daughter. You both need to present a united front for discipline and how you represent reality to her. Tried counseling and therapy, but it's only effective for a couple of days. This is not how therapy works. She needs to be going regularly for a long time. Not the asshole. I do want to know why she thinks her father is the one buying all those items for her. It makes no sense. Does she not believe, or is it something else? Your frustration is understandable, but this is a question for a therapist. There has to be some reason. Doesn't make it acceptable that she is idolizing her father in this way. Not the asshole. I am a stepfather. Had my stepson acted like that, I would just tell him that he can ask his dad for the phone. I buy all your food, clothes and sports equipment. I'm sure your dad will get you the phone if you ask him. Soft. You are the asshole. In the wise words of Bobby Singer, kids ain't supposed to be grateful. They're supposed to eat your food and break your heart. I get that you don't want to allow the disrespect anymore, and it's one thing to let her know what is and isn't acceptable. But you presumably are financially responsible for her in some way, and while you can stop buying her the big wants, a fancy new phone she wanted, you can't just stop providing for her needs because your feelings got hurt. She's a kid and she's lashing out because she knows it gets under your skin. The kid's messing up, but you and your wife should have handled this at the first sign of the delusion levels of denial. Tell her that you'll be taking her shopping for gifts in the future, but don't just give her things anymore. Not the asshole, but how do you see it playing out? It feels like this could end up driving a wedge between you and your wife. She is obviously trying to help her daughter, but this might make her choose between you and the daughter. I try to find a different way. Maybe go with your stepdaughter to buy gifts so she can see you paying. Cutting her off is the nuclear option, whether deserved or not. Info. There seems to be something underlying her rudeness and denial that isn't in your post. Have you tried family counseling? Does she see her dad, or is she romanticizing from a distance? Is this a recent change in behavior? Info. Do you have split finances with your wife? Not the asshole. I was a stepchild. By 14 she knows what she is doing. At some point, there needs to be consequences. She doesn't have to treat you like her real dad, but the disrespect is too much. Her mom can buy her the stuff she needs if she is going to treat you this way. Not the asshole. From a response below, you said she just doesn't believe you when the gifts are really from you. Her mother should probably be doing more to solve the problem, but it doesn't seem like that's happening. All it takes is one holiday or birthday or not getting her something and she will see the reality of it. What if you just ignored the whole who buys what thing and spent time with her doing something fun? Like, if you want her to respect you, don't talk about her dad or who buys what, just talk to her and hang out. People tend to respect people who listen to them and show that they like them. Not the asshole. As long as you pay your half the bills, keep a roof over their head, and pay for the groceries, your wife can keep paying for this fantasy of her daughter. You shouldn't be obligated to blow extra money on a teenager that is disrespectful. It won't help. She'll just tell people you are blocking her father from giving her things. If her dad is a crackhead, I'm assuming she never sees him. If she does, why? So maybe this is her desperate attempt to make him not horrible. If you stop providing her with things she needs and her mom is unable to, you would be an R. By all means, don't buy her gifts, but it sounds like she needs therapy. Like, consistent, ongoing therapy. Not the asshole. I think you need to have a more formal conversation with your wife about how you feel. 14-year-olds tend to change with time, but it'll be a few years. I think the most important thing is getting to the root of these issues. Family issues can be confusing for those caught in the middle. I also think she needs a counselor who she sees consistently to get to the bottom of things. Usually there's a reason. You are the asshole. She is a child. She is a child dealing with a divorce, and a drug-addicted father. You are an adult. She needs comprehensive therapy that lasts longer than a few days. Not the asshole. You don't need to get her anything that isn't a necessity. Not the asshole, but you might want to reconsider wording. You are somewhat obliged to provide her with what she needs. On the other hand, you don't have to get her things she wants, only those she needs. NTA. The child is rude. And needs a wake-up. I would not pay for anything until she learns not to be rude. And she needs a better counselor. You are the asshole. She's 14, being an A is kind of her job. If you, an adult with all the power, treat her the way you would a fellow adult, then you are the asshole. She's a child, not an enemy. The situation needs to change, and probably so does the amount of stuff you pay for. It's not your responsibility to buy her a new pee-bone. But just cutting her off is a sure solution to ending this relationship, and probably the one with her mom too. She is going to do a lot of growing and hopefully maturing over the next few years, and one day she's going to lean on her dad and be let down so hard that it guts her. When that time comes, she's probably going to realize some really hard truths about who has really been there for her. Not the asshole. The solution is simple. Just stop buying her things. When she wonders why she has nothing new, I'm sure she'll get the message. But stay strong. Don't let her mother convince you to buy her anything anymore. Nah. She's a 14-year-old whose father is a drug addict. No fucking shit, she's messed up. Not the asshole, and I don't blame you, but her mother needs to be setting her straight. Her father could be telling her that he pays child support and it is his money they are using to buy the gifts. My concern is that if she doesn't receive any gifts, then it is not because you are not buying them, it is because you are stealing them before she can receive them. Honestly, it sounds like she is in deep denial about her parents breaking up and remarrying. She is only 14. It is a limit-pushing time under normal standards. How long have you been the stepdad? She is obviously rejecting you as a father figure and doesn't want you to perform any of those functions. Her mother will have to step up as the parental authority figure. You may have to step back from any father role and just be a good man who loves her mother. She has to see and recognize that first. Not the asshole sounds like she needs some tough love. I would talk to my spouse and tell her you're done paying for things for her until she explains where things are coming from and who is paying for everything. Not paying for things she wants is punishment. Not paying for things she needs is abuse. You don't have to get her a 3-course steak dinner every day, but if you don't try to feed, clothe or house her, that is wrong. As long as you don't starve her out simply because she is being bratty, as most 14 yossa, I know I wasn't a piece of cake, then you are NTA. She is pushing boundaries and testing you and you plan to withdraw a form of love. Take her with you to buy the presents next time. She stands next to you while you pay for it. If she still insists it's her bio dad, then sit down and explain how much that hurts but that you won't stop loving her even though she is hurting you. Reddit has a terrible tendency of treating non-bio family as having conditional love only. When she is an adult, that's on her, but she isn't an adult, she is still a child. Take her phone off her. OMFG. I can't believe you're trying this hard. She's obviously not going to thank you for anything. Take the phone back and tell her that her dad can buy her one, and tell your wife to actually deal with her daughter's issues and not just expect you to bankroll her. Not the asshole. I understand where you're coming from. At the same time, I think she's in a lot of denial. Maybe she thinks her behavior will fix her family and her parents will be together again. It'd make sense if she went out of her way to break all good relationships with everyone else but her bio father. Her thanking him for things you've bought might be a comfort thing. She's pretending to have a good dad and can't accept that he isn't. It's a sad situation for everyone. She needs therapy. Therapy is not a quick fix, though it will have snaps. It's a long, slow process for her to deal with her situation. You need to give therapy time to work. Info. Why would you buy an ungrateful child a phone in the first place? She already treats you like crap. Why are you rewarding that? Not the asshole. I would be returning the phone or selling it and telling her to ask her dad for one. I'm sorry, at 13 you understand the concept of gift giving. I would probably look into if bio dad is saying he gives you guys money for all these luxuries. Not the asshole. Your wife's attitude is accepting the lie that bio dad is the provider. The lack of support she is giving you is questionable, to say the least. Is it vaguely possible she sees you as a convenient source of financing her and her daughter's lifestyle and not as a husband? I genuinely hope you both married for love, but I'm not seeing it here. Best of luck XXX. Not the asshole. I'd suggest being straight with her though. Have a conversation with her, and your wife, who needs to be on side and backing you up, about how you're not prepared to continue buying her things because of her behavior about them. I'm sure she'll learn gratitude pretty quickly when lack of it costs her. You are the asshole. You're not asshole if you don't want to buy her extras. Let's hope you're still covering necessities, but you are an asshole for your absolute anger at the situation. To put it as simply as possible, you're taking this all too personally. She is not only a child, but this has nothing to do with disrespect. This is dysfunction. Her behavior is concerning and it's time to try therapy again. As the adult in the situation, you need to show her patience. Do you think she's going to be like this forever? In 10 years from now, what would you like her to see when she remembers this situation? How do you want her to remember your response to it? Anger, or support? Why isn't she in regular, long-term counseling or therapy? Is she only getting a couple weeks or months and then you and her mom are dropping the therapy? Therapy takes time and it's not gonna change things overnight. She probably knows that you bought the gifts. She knows what she's doing gets under your skin, too. You're in a really tough situation. I don't know the solution. I think a lot of people in the thread who had step-parents have provided better insights than I could. I think things should start with a long, serious conversation with your wife about how you will move forward as her parent, guardians. Consulting some resources or even counseling for step-parents would be helpful, too. Good luck. Not the asshole. Let daddy start ponying up. Your wife needs to grow a pair too. Enabling this behavior only makes it worse. She's 14, not 4. Time to grow up a little. Sounds like she's having emotional issues. And if someone is telling her her father bought these things, I can understand her thinking. But if no one is telling her that and she's come up with it on her own, then she's obviously disassociating and holding on to her ideal version of her father. But that still means emotionally she is in the trenches. I really hope things get better for her. From an outsider's perspective, it seems to me she's just looking for a parental relationship that she feels she's missing. Info. Did your wife marry you out of love or to provide financial support for her and her daughter? My wife has tried counseling and therapy, but it's only effective for a couple of days before she snaps. Therapy can take years, not days. You are the asshole. Completely. 1. She's a child. You say you get that, but I honestly don't think you do. Like, she is 14. Holy fuck. 2. She is struggling. A lot of kids with step-parents do. Even if their dad is a deadbeat, like mine was, they still often compare themselves to siblings, and are super insecure, and think their bio parents think of them more than they do. Took me to 22 before I realized how deadbeat my father was. 3. You married her mom. You agreed to take care of your wife and your daughter. You took on that responsibility. Through tough times and sick times. It's not easy being a parent. But you are one, and it's time you fully accept that and keep going through it. Teenage years are so tough. Be a parent and help her through it. You are the asshole. She's 14, the most challenging age in life. Right now she's not ready to accept her natural dad is a deadbeat. She clearly knows deep down that's why she makes a show of thanking him in front of you. She's going to figure it out, but it'll take years. When she's older, if you stick with her, she'll come to thank you. But if you give up on her now, you'll just be another man who couldn't stay the course. No doubt it's really hard, but real men do it anyway. Why not get yourself some counseling to help deal with this challenging child, and learn how to be an amazing man in her life? As long as you continue to pay for necessary needs like food, not the asshole. Kids of that age are able to get a job. I am slightly older and got my first job at 14, and should be able to start paying for their unnecessary wants on their own, especially if she is going to treat the paying adult rudely. Not the asshole. First of all, she's not a little child anymore, she's 14. She should understand being polite to people on a general level. I'm not sure she believes her dad is buy her the gifts or if she thanks him in your presence to make you upset. Either way, she isn't well behaved and doesn't deserve any gifts, toys, clothes or gadgets from you anymore. Stop buying them for her. She will then face the reality that her dad is a deadbeat even if she won't admit it. And she won't be able to thank him for anything. You will need to talk to your wife about this plan of yours, or she may buy things for her daughter which will negate your plan. So the parents are behaving like children now. You are the asshole. You need to grow up, because when she does, she'll realize your sacrifices you've made and the love you gave, not the gifts. But if you start pouting now, you will expose yourself for probably what you really are doing, just buying her stuff, not actually caring for her mental or physical well-being, as a parent would. They prioritize the child as they grow into adulthood and learn how to behave by how their parents, and you can believe step-parents are included here, behave. The mature adult would not be so petulant over a child's treatment of their bio dad. A lot changes when children shift into adulthood. Don't you want to see that growth? Take the phone back and return it, not the asshole. This kid needs therapy for more than a few sessions, and you also all need family therapy. Your stepdaughter has constructed an elaborate fantasy structure to avoid the pain of confronting that her dad is not really capable of loving and supporting her the way she needs. Right now she's being externally self-destructive by being rude and damaging her relationships, but if she pivots and becomes focused on self-directed self-destruction, you're looking at a dangerous situation for her well-being. Getting mad about disrespect and not buying her things isn't going to solve this at all. She's a kid in crisis and needs more than just a few trips to see a therapist. She needs longer-term therapy that's done in conjunction with sessions with mom and also with you and mom.